voluntary participation of parties which focus on collaborating, efficiency and fairness without prejudice to legal system. It is a commonly used institutional environment to manage internal-external conflict, whereby mediator, arbitrator is unbiased and parties control the outcome with confidentiality without going into time-consuming litigation. And if we say that institutional use for ADR usually applied in universities, government, corporation, institution, health and international bodies, addresses the employees issues, administrative issues, contractual issues and policy related matters. For implementing that ADR system into the in the institution, integration into institution policies and governance systems required. Key component of an institution of ADR framework is formally clearly define the policy and procedure which enhance institution credibility and reputation between the parties, strengthen internal conflict management system and encourage culture of dialogue and inclusion. Trained and neutral facilitator or mediator to be appointed to resolve ADR institutional matters, confidentiality and procedural fairness to be maintained all the time. Accessibility for all stakeholders for prompt resolution of dispute is required. Monitoring and accountability mechanism to promote transparency also needed to resolve the dispute among the parties, which is been taken care of by the banks or financial institutions. Sorry. Commonly, ADR mechanism drive into four parts. One is the negotiation, and which is informal direct discussion between parties. And the second one is the mediation tool, which is used commonly right now. Neutral third-party facilitated dialogue and parties craft mutual agreements. The third one is arbitration. Neutral decision maker issue binding or non-binding decision after hearing evidences. And the fourth one is conciliation. Focus on repairing the harm and restoring a relationship, which is if we say that where the mediation comes usually once the negotiation is happened and the issue might not be resolved, people usually go directly to litigation side, which is again mentioned that is time consuming and very lengthy process. Hereby the mediation role is in, which is a midway between the negotiation and the litigation. It is also bridging the gap between parties amicably without going into costly litigation, as well as the time consuming, which is not feasible for parties to enhance their and can maintain their relationships. ADR process in institutions usually evolved into identification of dispute and conflict. Selection of appropriate ADR method was used to facilitate and train neutral mediator or appointment of arbitrator. Agreement or decision needs to monitor through implementation and follow-up. What are the benefits for ADR institution? It is reduced time and cost compared to litigation, reduce reliance on court and formal grievances, minimize disruption to institution operation, preserve professional and working relationship, decide promote culture of dialogue and cooperation, enhance trust and accountability, support compliance with legal and regulatory framework. If we can say, implementation of ADR in institutions establish a mediation window is essential for efficient recovery and client satisfaction. So that was an emerging concept is there that people supposed to, the institution supposed to develop their mediation window to resolve their client disputes on day-to-day matters amicably rather than provoking that issue and lead to the litigation side. The key element for effective mediation window is clearly eligibility criteria for dispute to be defined. Timeline, initiating and completing mediation time framework is there. Panel of trained and neutral mediator required. Confidentiality and voluntary participation is mandatory. Management support and policy backing also required for implementation of the mediation window. What is the process for mediation window? Dispute, identification and registration to be made immediately. parties informed of mediation option, consent obtained and mediator appointed, mediation session conducted in routine manner, settlement agreement reached on escalation is resolved amicably. Role of mediation in efficient recovery, it is encourage easy resolution of dispute, enable flexible and mutually acceptable outcome, reduce non-performing asset and backlog, support compliance and risk management, and improve operational efficiency. In the recovery process, mediation window is required. Impact is lead to the satisfaction between the parties and the issues were resolved. Institution challenges and mitigation also faced while establishing the mediation window. Resistance to change is always there. Awareness and training overcome that resistance. Lack of a skilled mediator for which the capacity building is required. Usually the mediation matters referred with low participation for which the policy framework required. Confidentiality concern is there where strong procedures safeguard the mitigation framework. Best practice for implementation, it is embedded mediation window in institution policies, conduct regular training for staff for certified mediator, ADR centers, monitor outcome and client feedback, align mediation with legal and regulatory framework, promote mediation as well as value-driven services. So end of the day, we can say the conclusion we say by leveraging mediation within institution framework, institution can reduce court backlogs, enhance access to justice, deliver fair, timely dispute resolution. Mediation windows strengthen institution ADR frameworks, support efficient recovery and sustainable dispute resolution, enhance client satisfaction and institution credibility, position institutions as responsive and client focused. So this is the presentation, and we here need to focus on the mediation exercise to be implemented in the organization, which is a fair option for the client to resolve their matters amicably instead going into litigation, which is again, as I mentioned, is a very costly and time-consuming process. Thank you so much.